Welcome to today's episode of the Channels Book Club. For Nigeria to become the country we all dream of, we have to create a society that promotes education and a reading culture, particularly amongst our young people. We need to get our young folks reading again and encourage them to appreciate the fact that reading can open them up to a whole world of learning, opportunities, fun, and adventure. It's fine to enjoy football, music, and movies, but our young people should also enjoy reading and learning. Otherwise, we will create a society with shallow intellectual depth. This is why Channels Television is organizing the Channels Book Club Prize for Literature. It is a national book review and essay competition for teenagers in Nigerian secondary schools. The winner of this competition will earn a sponsored trip to the world's biggest book fair, the Frankfurt Book Fair in Frankfurt, Germany. To get all the information you need, please visit www.channelstv.com/home/guidelines. You can also call 080-333-20974 or 081-384-57084 to get information. This book review and essay competition is supported by Lufthansa German Airline, Latana Books, and Goethe Institute, Nigeria. So get the word out. The competition is on till 31st of August. Now let's get on with today's show. We have an interesting package for you. Join us after this break.
Opens with a gate of arts, moves into windows of creativity.
She finds the only English word she knows from somewhere hidden in the belly of a 4'9" body, and instead of "I won't care," she greets us with "bye bye."
Branches into rooms of color. And ends with a roof of imagination.
Walk into Art House. The pieces all come together at 9:30 p.m. every Saturday. Art House, life is art.
We have three fascinating guests today. One is a talented software engineer and writer who audaciously presented 6 books in one day. His name is Rotimi Ogunjobi. The other two are 9-year-old prodigies. Ijeoma Nwagu, the author of The Lost Girl, is a primary 3 pupil. Tobi Oshinubi, the author of The Royal Recount, is a student in the UK.
Today is special for Rotimi Ogunjobi. He's presenting his works to the public, but this is with an interesting twist, as he's launching 6 books at once. Family, friends, and associates gather in support of a man who is passionate about writing.
These ones are the ones that are not already in the market. You see. They are new books written within the last 10 years. I just want to put them out, for people to read them, so I can start writing a new set of books.
And such an occasion is worthy of a cake to celebrate.
His earlier love for reading never left him, and it would be a love for reading that would soon morph into a love for writing. To the extent that after he qualified from university, the love of writing suddenly caught up, and he flung himself into it.
Mr. Rotimi Ogunjobi not just is a personal friend, he writes educational books for children. Therefore, we intended and set out in supporting him.
So at the end of it all, there is no guessing what Rotimi Ogunjobi's favorite number is.
Channels Television presents the Channels Book Club Prize for Literature, where one student in Nigeria stands a chance of winning the top prize of a sponsored trip to the 2013 Frankfurt Book Fair in Frankfurt, Germany, 50,000 naira worth of books and exciting consolation prizes for the runners-up. How to participate? Candidates should read and write not more than 1,500 words on Chinua Achebe's Things Fall Apart. The submitted essay must have a title, the candidate's full name, contact number, school, principal's name and contact. Essays should be sent to the Channels Book Club at channelstv.com. For further information, visit www.channelstv.com or call Kunle on 080-333-20974 or Orelua on 0813-845-7084. Entry closes August the 31st, 2013. The Channels Book Club Prize for Literature, supported by Lufthansa German Airline, Laterna Books, and Goethe Institute.
Thank you for coming to the Channels Book Club.
Thank you for inviting me.
You just recently launched 6 books in one day. What led to that? That's amazing.
They are a compilation of books I've written over the last 10 years, really, and I just thought, well, it's time they got introduced to the public.
So tell us about the 6 books and how do you feel about the event?
I think the event was well done. Well done. The organizations did quite well, and the people who participated, the guests, they did quite well also. We had, we did not, when we were planning it, they told me about it, and I said, look, I don't want a book launch, yeah? Let's bring guests together, so that guest friends, and let's just entertain them. And that's exactly just what we did. It was a themed event. We had everything. We took everybody back to the 70s and the 80s. I mean, the music. I mean, you could see that even the ushers, they were dressed 70s style. I mean, we just wanted an extraordinary event. And to top it all, I said, we are not doing launching. We are just doing a gathering of friends, a presentation of books to friends here. And that is why we had nothing like chairman of the occasion or people on the high table. We were just a friendly gathering. And then we topped it up by presenting a play that I wrote also. We had quite good actors, that came on stage to perform a play that I'd written. That is Two Dogs. It's a satire, really, about society, how people in our society regard one another, especially the class divides, And I think that was well done also,
Okay. So can you say something briefly about the 6 books that were launched?
The 6 books, they were made up of, I think I had two children's books. 2 children's books. That is the Leopard and the Gallo Gallo. And the second one was Ajala, the Terrible Child, and other stories. Then there's a play, that's the Two Dogs. And there's an epic poem, which is a Didare, The epic poem is not written in Yoruba anyway, but it's just for that title. Then there's a collection of short stories. That's a Brain Surgery on the Highway, and other manic expressions. I want to say a little bit about that particular book because it was a compilation of some of the short stories I've had written over time, maybe over 10, 12 years. One of them was first of all published by the Queen's Quarterly. That is the Queen's University in Canada. That is That is the title, Brain Surgery on the Highway. It was published in 2002. There's another one that was runners-up for a competition organized by the National Association of Nigerian Authors. That was in the late 90s. I try to remember the title of that. There's somewhere. Then there's another one that was included in an anthology published by a UK publishing company a couple of years ago. That is Road Rage. Okay, and most of the stories in that book were already published, but I had the rights to them, so I could take them back from the publishers and put them together in a book of my own.
You seem to do fiction and non-fiction, and even within non-fiction, you do various genres. Which is your pet area when it comes to writing? What do you enjoy writing most?
I will say that short stories are my forte, really. You know, I mean, I work better in the short fiction. You know, it's more exciting to write for me. Not because people really think that short fiction is more difficult, really, and I agree with them, because in writing short fiction, you have to take the readers through. You have just a few pages to make the reader understand and to enjoy what you have written. You know, so it's a very difficult art. You know, you have to start it's like a 100-meter dash. You know, it's different from writing a novel. You see, writing a novel, you can afford to experiment, you can afford to delay, you to go here and there. You know, and eventually you arrive at the end of it. You know. The experience of that, I try to make the reader feel in the book that you are holding now. That is a conference in Inouye, which is the latest book I've written. It's the novel. It's my first novel, actually, and it was nominated for the Commonwealth Prize in 2002. Okay. 2012.
Okay. Then you took a journey into writing books for children. How come?
That is my passion. That's my passion at the moment. I like writing for children. You know, I mean, you know, children are quite special. You know, when it comes to books, because they can believe. They believe quite easily. Things that we have to examine and re-examine. You know, they just take it as it is. You know, and then they run with it. You tell them a good story, they enjoy it, you know, and they just don't say, why has it been like this, why has it been like this? You know, they can do their own, put in their own imagination somewhere in between, but children, they are very special people, you know. I mean, their mind is so clean, it's so clear, and then, you know, they're the most wonderful people. Yeah, that's it.
So how many books have you written on children?
On children, I've written 2 books so far for children, published in Nigeria. You know, I've had another one published in UK, and then there's another 3rd one coming next month, published in Nigeria also. You know.
With your experience publishing in the UK and publishing in Nigeria, what's your view about the whole publishing space in Nigeria, particularly when you compare that with what you've seen and experienced in the UK?
I would say that there's really no difference, you know, because everywhere, you know, you're as good as your last book, you know. You're as good as your last book, and writers don't have better opportunities in UK than they have in Nigeria. You know, it's the same, you know, because if your book is good, somebody's going to read it, and if your book is not good, nobody's going to read it. You see, so it's the same thing in the UK and everywhere also, as far as I'm concerned. You know, I have a lot of author friends from all over the world. You know, which, I mean, they have the same experience. It's not that there might be some kind of I mean, the government or the authority, the government up there, they could be trying to promote the authors in some other ways, but you are left to yourself, really. You either sink or you swim with your heart.
Thank you very much for coming on the Channels Book Club.
Thank you for inviting me, sir.
It's a pleasure having you.
Yes, thank you.
This is a lovely book. Congratulations.
Thank you.
When did you write this book?
I read this manuscript when I was 5 years old.
What encouraged you to read it? Why did you write this book?
I wrote this book because I love writing and also I loved telling stories, so I put them together to write this book. And I also want children to be creative and they should have more knowledge on how to write and read.
Tell me about Jeton.
She's a girl. She lost her father when she was 2 years old and now she's 6. She loved adventures and she also liked helping her mother. She liked animals. That is why anytime she sees an animal, she just gets attracted to it. So one day she was like preparing to go to the farm with her mother. So when she went to the farm, she saw a squirrel cracking nuts. So she liked the squirrel, but she had to plant the seeds for her mother. So by the time her mother just found out that she hasn't done her assignment, she had to take her to her friend's house that she can complete her assignments. Then when she was writing her homework, she saw a fox and her attention was on the fox instead of writing her book. So she just she wanted to touch the fox, she wanted to hold it, she wanted to speak to it, but it ran away. So she had to call it, it didn't listen. So she ran out of the house to chase it into the deep forest.
That's a very lovely story. Is Jeton Ijoma? Were you talking about yourself?
No, I wasn't talking about myself.
Are you still planning to write a lot of other books? You want to be a writer when you grow up?
Yes, I also want to be a scientist because I love knowing what things are, and I also want to do more things when I grow up, so I like to write more stories.
What's your favorite book ever?
I like many books, but I don't have a favorite book.
Good. I'm very impressed with your book. I hope you can sign a copy for me and read part of it for our viewers. Okay, so do the reading first and then sign me a copy.
Once upon a time, there was a girl named Jeton. She was 6 years old. She lost her father when she was 2 years old. Jeton loved adventure so much. She always wanted opportunity to know and do lots of things. She was the only child of her mother. She loved to know why things happen the way they do. Jeton never liked sitting at a place doing nothing. Her dream was to be a well-known scientist in future. Jeton's mother was a farmer. Her name was Mrs. Abede. Mrs. Abede's farm was far away from their home. The name of their village was Goodland, and the community was named People's Land.
Saturday the 23rd of February. Sometimes being a princess can be so dull. Wave Ava, sit up straight, a princess never slouches. I mean, come on, you never get any time to yourself. It's either a dress fitting or opening a school or something. I know a lot of little girls want to be a princess, but not for life. And when I split one hair, oh no, someone call the ambulance. I don't take that I'm a princess for granted, and I love my brown hair and azure blue eyes and slightly tan skin. But I really do wish I could just get away from it all for one day, which would be great.
Channels Television presents the Channels Book Club Prize for Literature, where one student in Nigeria stands a chance of winning the top prize of a sponsored trip to the 2013 Frankfurt Book Fair in Frankfurt, Germany, 50,000 Naira worth of books and exciting consolation prizes for the runners-up. How to participate? Candidates should read and write not more than 1,500 words on Chinua Achebe's Things Fall Apart. The submitted essay must have a title, the candidate's full name, contact number, school, principal's name and contact. Essays should be sent to the Channels Book Club at channelstv.com. For further information, visit www.channelstv.com or call Kunle on 080 333 209 74 or Orelua on 0813 845 7084. Entry closes August the 31st, 2013. The Channels Book Club Prize for Literature, supported by Lufthansa German Airline, the Turner Books, and Goethe Institute.
Toby, hi. Nice to have you on the Channels Book Club.
Thank you.
Your book looks very nice, very nice. The Royal Recount. Can you tell me about your book?
It's about a girl called Ava who's a princess, and she's 13, but she found out that she was a princess when she was 9. And she has a very interesting life and similar dilemmas that children, as in this era, could really experience the same problems as she has, even though that she's a princess.
Good. Sounds interesting. When did you write it?
I started on the 23rd of February, which is the starting date of the first page of my book.
Is that February 2013?
Yes.
This year? Wow. How long did it take you to write? When did you publish it?
The actual book was ready in about June 2013.
You started in February, finished by June.
It didn't take that long because I was really dedicated to it, because I was really excited about what it was going to turn out like.
So tell me, what inspired you to write it?
What inspired me is that there's a lot of books in the market, but I haven't seen one about a princess, as in not just one of those like other princesses, as in like a modern day princess who is a young one, not an old one. And I just thought maybe I should just write one and see how it does.
You must read a lot. You must enjoy reading a lot. Tell me about that.
I have quite a lot of books at home because I really love reading. My favourite book is Dork Diaries by Rachel Renee Russell. The author is originally from America, and the main character is American too, but still, it's really good.
How about your teachers and all that? Are they happy you wrote this?
Yeah, my teacher actually wrote the foreword for my book.
Oh, okay.
And my head teacher tweeted about me on the school's Twitter.
If you are one of those who has been procrastinating on writing your own book, I am pretty sure these gifted girls will nudge you to get cracking. And if your own 9-year-old has not particularly started writing, I hope Ijeoma and Toby will inspire him or her. Enjoy yourself.
Ached badly. She lifted up her hand and touched her forehead.
Parents can come in basically to be part of the education of their children. Secondly, to help the children learn better. Thirdly, parents can interact with teachers and even with the children. And in the long run, it will also help with the quality of education and the standard of education that we have now
It's part of an initiative that the state is organizing, Reading Parents. We are trying to encourage parents to take time out of their busy schedules, whether it's the mother or the father, to sit with their children a couple of days a week and read to them. This is how children learn. This is how they get to spend time with their parents. And this is how they get to understand some of the things that are being taught in class that the teachers don't have time to explain to them fully. And it also creates a really great bond between parents and their children.
Our book of the week is an inspirational one titled What Makes the Great Great by Dennis Kimbro. It is one of those books you read and inspiration finds you. Get yourself a copy and enjoy reading it.
Hey everyone, it's your girl Tiwa Savage and I'm here to encourage everyone, including myself, to read more. There's this thing I used to hear that if you are trying to keep something from a black man, you put it in a book. We need to fight against this notion.
As always, we'll be happy to have you on any of our social media platforms displayed on your screen. Don't forget to encourage any teenager around you to participate in the Channels Book Club Prize for Literature and earn a trip to Frankfurt, Germany, or better, to help revive the reading culture. Thank you for joining us today. My name is Olakunle Kasumo. Remember, one great book can change your life. Bye-bye.